Today, we will be discussing Gentleman's Agreement and Telangana Regional Council. Gentleman's Agreement, a very important agreement, very important topic in the entire discourse of Telangana. We have started Telangana movement in 1952 for a separate statehood. Though in 1952, it was not just like a separate statehood demand in the beginning, it gradually turned out to a separate statehood movement like Telangana is for Telanganites. So what has happened in due course? 52 to 56, we are talking about these events where Telangana identity was in question. Telangana, part of Hyderabad State, along with Marathwada and Karnataka regions, is the core of Deccan, core of Hyderabad State, core of Nizam State. Hyderabad State, which we are calling today, is comprising of, as we understood clearly, that is Telangana 9 districts, plus 4 districts of Aurangabad division, that is Maharashtra part, and 4 districts of Gulbarga division. After 1952, mainly a huge political activity is happening during this period. What are the events here? And that culminated into an agreement which we call as Gentleman's Agreement. In Telugu we call it as 𝗵𝗃 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧. And what are the provisions in that? Why Gentleman's Agreement paved way for the creation of Andhra Pradesh? How pro-Telangana stance of the Congress leaders or some of the leaders like Burugula Ramakrishna Rao gradually shifted towards the merger with the Andhra state, and how a new state known as Andhra Pradesh has been formed, we'll be discussing today. So Gentleman's Agreement is an essential point in the entire discourse of Telangana. And after the unification of Andhra Pradesh today, like Telangana and Andhra regions, the unified Andhra Pradesh till 2014 had a discourse of the problems in Telangana region, underdevelopment in Telangana region, bias toward Telangana region, and all those aspects are there in Gentleman's Agreement. This Gentleman's Agreement is an important issue because violation of the safeguards which were provided in Gentleman's Agreement were completely overlooked. They never cared for this Gentleman's Agreement, and unified Andhra Pradesh in 1956 came into existence. Until 2014, we have seen all the violations. So, Gentleman's Agreement is a very important chapter in Telangana movement. So let's see what is happening in Gentleman's Agreement. The background first, provisions and recommendations, and then what is Telangana Regional Council, then what is its composition, performance, and all those things. Then violation of safeguards. This entire portion is put together as Gentleman's Agreement and the provisions and violations. Though we may not take violations today itself, we will talk about the Gentleman's Agreement, its important points, why those points are so important, and how a new state of Andhra Pradesh came into existence because of this agreement. The background first. What was happening after 1952 Mulki movement? Already from 1949 onwards, in Andhra of Madras province, there was a debate, there was a perfect lobbying, there was completely a campaign for Vishalandhra. Vishalandhra, it means it includes all the Telugu speaking areas of India. They even had a big map where Chhattisgarh part and Orissa parts of Telangana, Telugu speaking areas were incorporated into Vishalandhra. But of course, those parts are completely disputable. So now they were mainly focusing on the Telugu speaking areas of Nizam state or Hyderabad state. So after 1952 Mulki movement, they have increased their lobbying. And from 49 to 52, the Vishalandhra activists were coming into Hyderabad. They were participating in the meetings. They were holding meetings in like cities like Warangal. 𝗖𝗃 𝗃𝗅 came to Warangal and proposed why a Vishalandhra is a necessity for the Telugu speaking people of this region. And even some of the important personalities like Madapati Hanumantrao or some other people are also attending such meetings in Warangal, and they are having, at least they could speak about Vishalandhra even in Telangana region, and this is their campaign. after 1952 Mulki movement, it is very clear that Telangana people are not for 𝗓𝗏𝗧 because students, youth and the people were agitating for the rights of Telanganites. The basic contradiction was with Andhras. So there is no question of merging with Andhra state and forming a huge thing. So now the whole program has changed. They have went into lobbying method. From 1952 onwards, they lobbied with center. This is the main aspect. 𝗓𝗏𝗧 meetings are being held, but it will not bring United Andhra Pradesh. What brought United Andhra Pradesh into existence is the lobbying with the center. Second aspect is Nehru, though he was not agreeing to the intentions of Andhra on day one when the Andhra Pradesh state was, Andhra state was unveiled, during the inauguration of during the inauguration of Andhra state in Kurnool, when some of the journalists asked about 𝗓𝗏𝗧, he said that Vishala means the broad Andhra, or Vishala is a very wrong word. It connotes the imperialist designs of expansion. He was saying that. But he himself was instrumental in the merger of Telangana with Andhra and formation of Andhra Pradesh. Why? This is the second important aspect. Hyderabad State, which was a thorn in Indian Union because of its application in United Nations. They have sent a representation. In 1948, when accession was happening, Nizam has sent a representation to United Nations. First, he approached Clement Attlee, the Prime Minister of Britain. Then he approached Truman, the US President, and these things could not pave way for the independence of Hyderabad State. He went to United Nations, Nizam. So, United Nations application is always a critical and an important aspect for Indian sovereignty or Indian states' political diplomacy in the international arena. So what is happening? At some point of time, like Pakistan may raise this issue. So they wanted to dismember, means dissolve the Hyderabad state as it is what we see today. Hyderabad state, as we see, is comprising of Maharashtra, Karnataka parts and Telugu speaking areas of Nizam state, that is Telangana. Now if we dismember this entire Hyderabad state into Marathi speaking areas shifted to Maharashtra, Kannada speaking areas to Karnataka and Telugu speaking areas merged with Andhra, where is Hyderabad today? So that was the second important aspect for the merger of Telangana region with Andhra, paving way for Andhra Pradesh formation. So these two things are important. Then lobbying for 𝗓𝗏𝗧, assuring for protection of rights of Telangana. Now they are talking about the rights of Telangana. Why the question of rights are coming here? Because in 1952, when the Gair Mulki slogans were there in Telangana, they were raising the slogans because Mulkis are occupying their posts. Now the safeguards, now the employment, now the self-respect, because they were belittling the Telangana language and culture too, though not in a big way as they did in the latter period. So all these things put together, the issue of safeguards, issue of protection of rights of Telangana came to the fore. So in this whole process, Congress, many Congress leaders, though they were for Telangana, in the next stage, they gradually shifted their loyalties towards 𝗓𝗏𝗧. You can take the instance of Burgula Ramakrishna Rao like leaders also. Burgula Ramakrishna Rao, when he toured Telangana completely, and he said when he went to Delhi, if we tour Telangana, you will see the sentiment of the people. They are for Telangana. People are not ready for merger with Andhra. But what has happened? After coming from Delhi, Burgula Ramakrishna Rao, because of the pressure from the High Command, pressure from the center, pressure from the central Congress leadership, like 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃, who was the president of Congress. So he had to change his position and he was ready for merger with Andhra. That was the major aspect which has shifted the whole weight or the equilibrium towards 𝗓𝗏𝗧. And another aspect is there. Apart from Congress, the other major force in Telangana, that is Communist Party of India, they were for 𝗓𝗏𝗧 because they were winning seats from Telangana, no doubt. But their main stake and other areas like in Andhra, the whole leadership is from Andhra, central leadership, that is state leadership, Puchalpalli Sundaraya, Chandrarayeshwara, all these leaders are from Andhra. And if the influence of Telangana of CPI can be extended to Andhra region, they can win over the Andhra Pradesh state, future Andhra Pradesh state. This was their intention. Means politically they can gain in Vishalandhra state. That is what the calculation of CPI. That is why they brought a slogan, they brought in a slogan that is known as Vishalandhralo Prajarajyam. People's rule in Vishalandhra. So this is the second force which is influential. So Congress and Communists, these two main forces, when they are agreeing to it, this paved way for the creation of Vishalandhra. So when there is at least a common ground for discussion, means the leaders of the Congress could be summoned to Delhi to discuss the issues with the center or issues with the other party, that is Andhra leadership, so that they can resolve the issues and come to an agreement and make Vishalandhra a reality. This was the intention of the Congress. G.B. Pant, then the Home Minister, advised the Congress leaders of both the regions. One is Andhra region and the other is Telangana people. So these representatives were summoned to Delhi, and these people met in Delhi in Hyderabad House. Hyderabad House is a very palatial, a beautiful house which is Nizam's property. So Hyderabad House, on 20th February, 4 members from each region met and discussed threadbare some of the aspects. And after the deliberations, they made an agreement, and that agreement is known as 𝗵𝗏 𝗪𝗏 or Gentleman's Agreement. The participants of this Gentleman's Agreement, the signatories of this Gentleman's Agreement from Andhra State, 𝗵𝗏 𝗀𝗶𝗃𝗁 Reddy, Chief Minister of Andhra State, 𝒃𝒠 𝒪𝒃𝒃 Reddy, Deputy CM of Andhra State, who becomes CM after Andhra Pradesh formation, 𝗂𝗽𝗱 Minister in Andhra Pradesh, Minister in Andhra. 𝗂𝗽𝗱, remember about this man? He is always a votary of Telangana in the next phase. Though he signed 𝗵𝗏 𝗪𝗏 or Gentleman's Agreement, he was more with Telangana issue in the next phase. He was supporting Telangana. He and N.G. Ranga were consistently talking or helping the Telangana argument, though they were from Andhra. And the fourth man from this Andhra side is Alluri Satyanarayana Raju, Minister of Andhra. Then from Telangana, it was Burgula Ramakrishna Rao, the CM, K.V. Rangareddy, Minister Telangana, a strong votary of Telangana, though Burgula has shifted his stance from separate Telangana to unified Andhra. K.V. Rangareddy consistently was with Telangana. Even in 70s also he was talking about the loss of Telangana because of this Gentleman's Agreement. Then Marri Channareddy, Minister in the cabinet of Burgula Ramakrishna Rao, a doctor by profession, nephew of K.V. Rangareddy. Marri Channareddy was very strong leader from Telangana region, and he played important role in many of the Telangana movements. Like in 1969, and again you can see Marri Channareddy's role in Telangana region by Telangana Praja Samiti, who was criticized for merging TPS with Congress and completely watering the whole Telangana movement of 1969. Then J.V. Narasimha Rao, a Congress leader from 𝗪𝒃 and a strong votary of separate Telangana. So these 4 people were the signatories in this Gentleman's Agreement. Gentleman's Agreement has some salient features. First of all, we have to understand any agreement should have a conceptual aspect. That conceptual aspect will pave way for the other points in future. For example, status of Telangana. How do you view the status of Telangana in Gentleman's Agreement? The formulation is, Telangana area will be treated as one region. This is for convenience and temporary state. One legislature for the state there will be. There will be unified legislature, only one assembly as the sole law-making body of the state. One governor for the state, no doubt. And council of ministers will be one. But Telangana will be treated as one region inside Andhra Pradesh. Very interestingly, you have in 𝗵𝗏 𝗪𝗏 Telangana to be treated as one region. Come to the last phase or the latter phase in Telugudesam, under Telugudesam regime, when a member of assembly started speaking about Telangana, the speaker Yanamala Ramakrishnudu said, Telangana word is not constitutional, you can't talk, you can't take the name of Telangana. You say backward region. So that is a tragedy. So here in gentleman's agreement, it is very clear that this Telangana can be treated as a region, means it is a region and it can be taken, but it was banned in the latter stages. That is how we can see at every step of agreement or the next formulations or next implementations, all the violations or discrepancies paved way for the movement further. So next, with regard to some specified matters, this Telangana will be treated as separate region. What are the specified matters? We will see under the chapter, under the subheading Telangana Regional Council. Next important aspect, a Telangana Regional Council shall be formed for the regional needs and overall development. What is this Regional Council? Council as a statutory body. Council is a body which is legal. It can take decisions. This was the provision in Gentleman's Agreement. So, Telangana Regional Council was the main instrument in the Gentleman's Agreement, because through this, many aspects in administration and safeguarding the interests of Telangana will be done. This was the essential tool, essential institution of Gentleman's Agreement. But later what has happened in violations, we will see this Telangana Regional Council was watered down as Telangana Regional Committee. Though if you take the words TRC, both are TRCs, but one is council, the other is committee. Committee can be advisory, but council is a statutory body. This difference was there when they went into implementation. We will talk about it in the chapter of violations. Then, what are the important points of Gentleman's Agreement in finances? The first point, already as we talked about economy or finances, there is a huge problem in terms of deficit in Andhra and Telangana region. Telangana is a surplus state, or Hyderabad State is a surplus state. Andhra was a deficit state in 1956. When you have surplus and deficit in two regions, what will happen? The surplus of this region will be pumped into the state expenditure and the deficit region will get benefited. What about the surplus region getting benefits out of its surplus? That was the reason. That is why this crucial aspect of central and general expenditure in administration to be borne by Andhra and Telangana in a proportionate ratio. The proportionate ratio. That is very important. Otherwise, entire surplus will go into the expenditure and Andhra will not pump in the expenditure and Telangana will be once for all victimized. Next aspect is surplus should be spent on the development of Telangana. Since Telangana is a budget surplus state, expenditures, once they have taken with proportionate ratio, that proportionate ratio has been taken and the surplus is remaining with Telangana. This surplus should be spent on the development of Telangana. You can't put it in the common account and go for the development of entire state. That is the second provision regarding finances. And third is, review will be done only after 5 years. Till then, this arrangement should be there. This is regarding the finances. Then coming to the other aspect, which is very crucial in terms of students and youth, education. Already as we understood that there is a huge gap between the educational facilities in Telangana and Andhra region. In Andhra region, number of educational institutions grew under the British rule. In Telangana, though under Nizam state, there were efforts to bring in educational institutions, it is not as high as in Andhra region. One of the statistics speak that some districts like Guntur will have had more institutions than entire Telangana put together. So what will happen? Students will be less privileged to avail the infrastructure or facilities. So this underdevelopment in terms of education should be balanced. So the first point is developing educational institutions in Telangana is a very must. Once you develop the educational institutions, you can bring that balance. So admissions in Telangana region, Telangana's educational institutions, including technical, very important, including technical, because in those days, ITIs, polytechnics, played an important role. Huge number of students were taking into ITIs and polytechnics. including technical to be reserved to Telangana students only. It means in Telangana, if at all the admissions are to be done, Telangana region admission should be given to only Telangana students, not open for all. Because there is a huge number in Andhra region, and if it is open unreserved, they will pump in or they will be coming in, flowing into Telangana, and Telangana students will not have seats. That is the reason. Or there is a provision, very interesting provision. If you are not allowing the reservation to be completely for Telangana students in education institutions of Telangana, then at least 1/3 of the seats in the entire state should be reserved for Telangana students. This 1/3 seat provision is a very important provision. If you are not allowing Telangana students to study here, 1/3 seat. But can you see any Telangana student in the latter phase also, 1950s, 60s, 70s, Telangana people going and studying in Andhra, Rayalaseema regions, you don't see. It's a reverse flow. Everyone will be pumping into Hyderabad or Telangana region. But no Telangana student went there. Very few exceptions. But the first provision is the correct provision, that is reservation for Telangana students in Telangana institutions. Then, about the employment. When a new situation is arising, what will happen? There will be again an imbalance. For example, when merger happened with Indian Union or accession happened with Indian Union, Hyderabad State had 10,000 army. Indian army is also there. Do you think Indian army will take all this 10,000 into its army? No. Many armed forces will be retrenched. So retrenchment will be done whenever there is a new arrangement in terms of new governments or new mergers. So here, when Hyderabad is merging with Telangana, Hyderabad means Telangana, part of Hyderabad is merging with Andhra. When two regions are coming together, there is a doubt, there is an apprehension that some jobs will be retrenched. So if jobs are reduced after merger, it should be done in a proportionate ratio, not haphazardly. That was the condition. And Andhra leaders, definitely they have promised that there is no need to reduce jobs because we have a huge territory, huge place, huge area, so we need not reduce jobs. This was the promise they have given, but this is still a promise in the gentleman's agreement. And about the next recruitments, now it's into one state. When you are into one state, single state, who has to be recruited? Is it Telangana will get priority or Andhra get priority, or what is that? Merit. Then when you say merit, already apprehensions are there in Telangana people, because Andhra's appropriated many jobs much before 56. Even by 52, you have huge numbers coming into Hyderabad state. So, future recruitments based on the population of the both regions. This was the criteria. Recruitment should be done in proportionate with the populations of two regions. Then definitely people will get jobs in both the regions without any bias. So this is about employment. And Urdu. Urdu is, though it's a language, though it's just a medium, it is related to employment too. Urdu speaking people or Urdu medium educated students are people who were into offices or who were trying to seek jobs or getting raw deal. Immediately after, J.N. Chaudhary took over and Velodi government and in continuity. Because now medium of instruction is not Urdu but it's English or Telugu. These two languages are getting better deal. They are promoted. Urdu is not promoted. So what will happen to the Urdu speaking or Urdu medium students in employment? That is why Urdu shall be, and apart from that, not only employment, apart from that in administration too, all the documents were written in Urdu. Now, a sudden shift into something is not acceptable. So this provision pays like Urdu shall be continued in administration and judiciary for 5 years. Many words in administration, even today we talk in revenue, are Urdu words. Al Tahsildar or this one, Persian or Urdu. Like our Atraf Balda, all these things. Atraf Balda or Sarfe Khas, all the revenue terms even today, they are having Persian or Urdu origin. Because of the historical background, we have this. So Urdu shall be continued in administration and judiciary for next 5 years and review will be done later. And in recruitment, when you recruit, what they will do is, they will take a proficiency test in the language of instruction or the administration. So there is no need to give a test in Telugu. They can write in Urdu also. But they have a time, at least 2 years of time, a gap will be there. By that time, they should learn Telugu and get the condition cleared. It is to provide an opportunity for the Urdu speaking people. And domicile rules. Domicile rules means staying. How many years you have stayed in that region? Mulki. We talk Mulki. Mulki is the mantra in Telangana. So domicile rules, this is a temporary provision in this agreement. For a period of 5 years, Telangana is regarded as a unit for recruitment for subordinate services. What do you mean by subordinate services? Not the high post, the subordinate services. Telangana people will be encouraged, or Telangana people will be absorbed into subordinate services in Telangana. So Telangana will be the unit for the subordinate services. So this is a temporary provision. And these services reserved for Telanganites should be filled by the people who will complete 12 years of stay in Telangana region. That was the criteria. So 12 years of residence is the provision for Mulki rule. So finally, we have seen about employment, education and finances. Then talking about the TRC, Telangana Regional Council. This is an institution. Institution in the sense, this is not a provision, it is an institution. You have to build Telangana Regional Council. What is Telangana Regional Council? TRC is a statutory body, means constitutionally valid body, which can take decisions. Which can take decisions in terms of some subjects. What are the subjects? We will talk about it. But this body will be comprising of the elected members from Telangana region, and elected members by the elected members of Telangana region, means MLAs and MPs of Telangana region. So this body will be having some people who will take decisions on the matters of Telangana. Not every matter of Telangana. They have listed out some points, we will be talking about it. And if at all, this body, TRC, is deciding something and advising the government to take up, but the government, the future government, that is Andhra Pradesh government, is not willing to take up. If there is any difference between the opinion, in the difference in the opinion between TRC and Andhra Pradesh government, that will be referred to the governor of Andhra Pradesh. And the governor of Andhra Pradesh will be the final authority to take a decision. The authority of the governor will be binding on the TRC and the Andhra Pradesh government. This was the provision. This provision was made because unless and until you have some person or an institution to finalize the differences, to resolve the differences, the institution cannot be successful. It cannot run successfully. TRC is an institution because without an institution, who is going to take a decision? Because all the subjects which we are talking about, like planning, like education, like agriculture and agricultural land, sale of agriculture, which we will be talking in a moment. All these things should be scrutinized, and a body should be there, and that body will decide upon what to do with these subjects. And after taking the decision in TRC, that will be referred to the government. Once that is referred to the government will discuss in cabinet and assembly and finally bring it into legislation or so. If at all there is a difference of opinion, then that will be referred to the government. That we are talking about. A few words about TRC. TRC Council, Telangana Regional Council. Council means it's a statutory body. The validity will be there constitutionally, and its decisions will be valid, abiding, and it can be. Whereas the word committee which came is not an abiding one. This is the violation. So next we will talk about the aspects which TRC will be dealing with.